Back now with the broodmares. I touched on this in the opening. I'm going to go through this really quick for you guys again, how we arrived at where we are and what it looks like. Capistrano, this affiliate had a horrendous 3-year-old season, but a fantastic 2-year-old season. It happens. Rather than pushing her and bothering her, when we got a well-bred, I know she's by a Warwe Needy, and nobody really knows what a Warwe Needy mare is going to look like. He was a great racehorse and a great stake horse in his own right. So before we start saying, well, he's a Warwe Needy, you don't know. You just don't. So, Capistrano was a great mare in her own right at 2. Took a mark of 53 as a 2-year-old, made what, 40,000 or something. So it made sense that we would have no problem breeding her. I talked to our clients about Capistrano. We talked about Fear the Dragon. We talked about some horses here in Ontario, and what we ended up landing on was Lather Up. So we are going to breed Capistrano and Lather Up. She's going to be bred in Kentucky, foal in Ohio. She's going to be dual eligible. So Capistrano is going to lather up. Dewey Ann going to drop that second My MVP foal. That'll give us a real good chance actually to look at the first one in training. They're yearlings now. I'm excited. We're going to see Dewey Ann's yearling start to train down before we breed her for the third time. We're not going to breed her after this cycle. I want to get her back to March. I want to get her to March. She's had those late foals, the first 2. Remember, it's not very fair to her. So we're going to skip after she foals out in June. We're going to skip forward and look to March to breed Dewey Ann. But at that point, we'll have a good look at the My MVP. And if it looks fantastic, there'll be no question where she's going back. It'll be back to My MVP. Muscle Chrome. Again, we had some lengthy discussions. I talked to Heather quite a bit about Muscle Chrome and a number of other clients about Muscle Chrome. Ultimately, I tried to figure out the best way to go forward for us, and affordability played a role, obviously. So looking at dual eligible, again, we were going with Ohio. She was on the bubble. Do I really want to do that? And then I looked at who I could breed her to and would breed her here to in Ontario. It would have been much more expensive. So can we take the savings and pass it on, and how would that look? I think the same thing as Capistrano, different sire, obviously. Long Tom is where we're going in Ohio. We're going to breed her in Kentucky, foal her in Ohio. Dual eligible foal by Long Tom, a son of Muscle Hill. We looked at, and really the number one contributing factor to my thought process on this was how our Long Toms look. I don't know how they're going to race this year, but they've done everything right so far. That was the tipping point for me. And then Stolen Dance, I had a very lengthy video, an explanation of how I arrived at my proposal to our clients, my partners, on Stolen Dance, and it was Stolen Dance to go to Kentucky to be bred to Uncle Peter, foaled out in Ohio. Uncle Peter is not a son of Muscle Hill. We've had a ton of luck with Uncle Peter's, and a great relationship with Kevin Greenfield at Hickory Lane Farms. So I'm a Canadian citizen. I live in Ontario. I want to support Ontario also. It's just so damn tough here, right? Until these mares prove that, Muscle Chrome, slow racehorse, decently bred. Who am I going to breed her to here? Trixton? We've had a ton of luck in Ohio, and I'm just trying to do what's best for everybody. I do want to support everybody, but at the same time, I guess, do we not owe some to Ohio too? This is a jurisdiction that has been incredibly kind to us. Been very fortunate to race there, done very, very well there. So, although I live here in Ontario, we've had an incredible amount of luck in Ohio also. So we'd like to reciprocate some of that, looking at the horses, looking at how tough the jurisdiction of Ontario is. We had a number of really good grassroots horses last year that, one, made no money, and 2, got run over all year. You got a horse like Zeb Sunshine, who took a mark of 54 as a 3-year-old. Decent 3-year-old. He's got 9,000 made. So an incredibly difficult place to make money. But at the same time, if you're one of the best horses, it's a great jurisdiction. But we're looking at, what if you're not, right? And I think when you factor in the Ohio Fairs, the program they got down there, I gravitate towards it. Because I am of the belief that maybe we don't have the best mares. And if we don't, what's best for us? I think Ohio is an easy choice. And that is why we'll be breeding these 3 mares in Ohio this year. So Stolen Dance going to Uncle Peter, Muscle Chrome is going to Long Tom, Capistrano is going to Lather Up, and Dewey Ann going to skip a year with Dewey Ann. So that's your brood mares. Back in a minute. We still got the 2-year-olds and 3-year-olds in all the stables to talk about.